Right, Celtic 2, Motherwell 1. John, it's 2 wins from 2. It's all still a bit meh, no?
A little bit. I don't think that performance is going to win over the doubters about Celtic at the moment. I actually thought we were pretty good for an hour, and then, multiple times this season, seemed to conspire to throw it away for ourselves in a way. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. Motherwell couldn't quite get the equalising goal. But some good signs and some worrying signs today. Some decent individual performances and some bad ones.
Mainly the Scots,
Yeah, the Scots. Yeah.
probably. Yeah. It's on you, mate.
No. I would agree. I thought the midfield was a bit shaky again. I wasn't particularly impressed with Scott Brown today.
Yeah.
I know he had a good game midweek, but wasn't a fan of his performance today. And I think that I would rather have Sorrow in there, or I would rather at least have some sort of building towards the future, because I think the short term kind of upsides of playing Brown at the moment are arguable at best, and the long term upsides are non existent. So I just don't see the point of it. But yeah, there was good and bad today.
Joe's been getting in touch saying, just can't put these games to bed, can we? It seems like that's been the theme of this season. And as you say, we obviously won today's game, but there's been several games this season that I could name where we've gone 2 goals up and ended up being pegged back to 2-2. Is there any theories for why this happens with this Celtic team?
I just don't think we're a cohesive defensive unit from the midfield backwards, and I just don't. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm not sure if fitness plays a factor, and if it does, then that's worrying. Again, I thought the substitutions today were a little bit odd. I think bringing off a player like Greg Taylor, who I thought was having a fine game up to that point,
He was.
was a little bit baffling to me. Maybe that was a fitness and fatigue thing. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. We just seem to fall to pieces when things go slightly against us in matches. And I thought we created some chances today that, we should have put this game to bed well beyond what it was at 2-0. Their keeper made a couple of decent saves, but yeah, it's a strange one, Hamish. It's really strange.
Yeah, it's just seemed like, as you say, that the minor setbacks seem to affect us so much this season. I don't know whether that comes down to a weak mentality or what. It's just unusual because Celtic in general over the years have had a really strong mentality, and we've been able to get over minor and major setbacks and come out the right end of it. Mazar, Yusuf, always getting in touch, Mazar, after the games. I don't think I have to proofread Mazar's comments. I think he's been vetted as a genuine 67 Hail commenter. I'll read out what he had to say. Welsh is who we all thought Duffy was going to be. Shame it took for the season to be over for him to get a run. Turnbull deserves a full Celtic Park to see his unbelievable talent. That's part one of Mazar's message. Part two, I'm not going to get attached to Kenny because I know I'll have my heart broken. Also, get me back to Celtic Park so I don't have to listen to Jerry McCulloch. Bane, need I say any more? I think you've made your point there, Mazar. I could go on about that for ages. I think it's interesting that Celtic promised this whole amazing coverage with all the BT pundits, and somehow at the end of the season we've ended up with Jerry McCulloch in commentary. But we'll chat about the football issues on the pitch. I thought the fullbacks were really good today. Certainly the fullbacks who started the game. I thought Laxalt looked really poor when he came on, but Taylor and Kenny got a lot of the ball. Motherwell were allowing the two of them, possession kind of on the halfway line, and they were both, especially Kenny in the first half, was finding Ayeti and Edouard a lot with kind of decisive diagonal passes. Really quite like Kenny. I like the fact he gets stuck in. There was a moment in the first half where he gave away a slack ball and he chased back and put in a really good tackle to win it back. I thought in general in the first half, like you say, John, I thought we were pretty good. It was probably one of the better halves we've seen this season, which probably says more about the season as a whole. But yeah, we slackened off, and the way we finished that game was reminiscent of Livy at the start of the season, the 3-2 win at Celtic Park. It's been reminiscent of loads of games this season. You just leave the game feeling a little bit underwhelmed, even though we got the 3 points. Is this what we're going to have for the rest of the season, do you think?
Possibly. Obviously, the circumstances don't help with our enthusiasm. But Mazan made a couple of great points there. One of them's quick. It's a real shame that we can't see David Turnbull in the flesh at the moment, because I think he's got a natural ability on the ball that is a pleasure to watch. and it doesn't seem to be driven by confidence. Like, he's playing like this in a pretty bad Celtic team, so what can he achieve in a good Celtic team and with the support of the crowd? That would be thrilling to see. I can't wait to get to matches again and see that in the flesh. More importantly, the Welsh thing. I think, Stephen Welsh is a great advert for playing more youngsters in the Celtic team. I think he should have got an opportunity before now. But as we've said multiple times on this channel, on the website, on the podcast, on Twitter, everywhere, this season's over now and we need to be building for the future. And who knows what gems we have in this kind of Celtic group of youngsters. There's youngsters that are training with the first team every day, such as Ewan Henderson, who was on the bench today, such as Luca Connell. Where are these guys? I want to see these people in the team and give these youngsters an opportunity, because Stephen Welsh has shown he can do it. I think he's got a lot of composure for his age. He's only 21. But, think about that. He's 21, which is young. But in football terms, we might have seen a lot more appearances from a player like that at other clubs. And nobody really knew much about Stephen Welsh 18 months ago when he was well into his development. So what other talents are at Celtic, and get them in this team? Because, I don't see the point of playing people who don't have a future at Celtic Park, to be honest with you.
I could understand a farewell tour of Scott Brown and Shane Duffy and Tom Rogic and players like that if we'd won the league and we were romping it and we had games to spare. The fact of the matter is that this season has been a complete failure, and I'm not saying it's all down to those three guys. Obviously everyone has a share of the blame, but I don't think there should be any room for sentiment or any room for farewells or misplaced friendship towards maybe players that Neil Lennon quite likes. I think Sorrow should be in that team virtually every game. I think Ewan Henderson should be in that team instead of Tom Rogic. I think Ewan Henderson is a player who, whenever I've seen him, I've been quite impressed by him, but he never seems to get a run of games. And that goes back to Brendan Rodgers' time at the club when he first came on the scene. I would love to see players like that, and this season has shown us that almost when you throw in those surprise players who have got a point to prove, think Sorrow, think Turnbull, think Stephen Welsh, invariably they show up the more experienced player whose position they've taken. So I hope we see more of that between now and the end of the season. For me, as much as a week ago, and this is the ultimate flip-flop, John, because exactly a week ago we sat in these very same chairs and I said that second was a big worry for me. I think with our last couple of wins and the fact that I believe Hibs beat Aberdeen, updated table has us 6 points ahead of third place Hibs, and we've got 2 games in hand. Aberdeen are away 11 points behind us and we've got a game in hand in them. Livy lost today as well. So I think second place now is in the bag. Hopefully that takes some sort of any lingering pressure off the team. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think there's a chance that McInnes gets sacked before Lennon here, which is perhaps a little bit surprising. Yeah, I mean, I was never too worried about the second place thing. No, I'm not gloating. I'm just saying I was never too worried. And as it bonds out, I mean, but again, that's Celtic. That's the first time they've won 2 matches in a row since December. It's it's not as if we're on a magical run of form.
Feels like it.
Yeah, no, we've got St Mirren midweek, who obviously turned us over last week, so there's work to be done here. But yeah, I just want to see progress at Celtic, and I feel like there's maybe 1 or 2 people still at the club who are a barrier to that progress.
St Mirren won today, by the way. They beat Killie 2-0. They're up to top 6. Bit worried about Killie, I must say, but this isn't a Killie YouTube channel. We got one in there from Craig Rankin. What do you think about this? Kenny looks more comfortable in the final third than Frimpong, that is. Interesting.
Kenny, I still
Sorry, Craig. Oh no, sorry, Kenny. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking rubbish. I'm all over the place, mate. Sorry. One of those days.
No, yeah, Kenny looks pretty comfortable, I think. I think he's still getting up to full match fitness, and I don't mean it in terms of physical fitness, I just mean that sharpness, because I think he still has a final ball that he's not quite delivering at the moment, or at least I hope he does. And that's clearly the big issue, but he is getting into good positions. But I mean, it is notable that today Motherwell did let Taylor and Kenny get on the ball. And it was obviously a tactic of theirs because they clearly don't see much danger from either. And perhaps there's a bit of bias there in terms of we are seeing them on the ball more often. And so they automatically stand out to us. So that might be a bit of it. I still want to see Taylor and Kenny causing more problems in that final third, given so much the time that they have on the ball.
Ryan's a fan of Kenny as well, just like me, saying Kenny had a good shot across the goal in the first half that really created some positive havoc. I like how he was engaging in the attack. Peter Law getting in touch as well, John, saying we panic when we concede a goal. We'll do something about it, Peter.
Excellent.
Right. What else can we say about this afternoon and looking forward? I just feel a total limbo with Celtic at the moment. I'm finding it difficult to get excited about 2-1 wins at home to Motherwell when we're 20 odd points behind our rivals. But is there anything you can give me?
I understand that. I do understand that. Just thinking in purely in terms of being now and the end of the season, it's nice to see Edouard looking a little bit more confident again. I thought he was good on the ball again today and took his goal very well. I mean, it's always nice watching goals like that for me. I don't care who Celtic are playing or what we're up to. It's good to see a Celtic goal like that. I thought that second goal was actually excellent from us. It was a good team goal. I thought the touches and the passing today, I thought was quite good. I thought that there was signs of confidence in these players. So I'm kind of hanging my hat on that a little bit. I'm trying to forget about the last 20 minutes and kind of think more about the first 60. It wasn't blow away by any means at all, but I'm just hoping that we can start to string together some sort of consistent results, because that's what we need at the end of the day.
You're trying not to think about the last 20 minutes. I'm trying not to think about the last 20 weeks of watching Celtic, because this season has been horrendous. I've got this weird kind of thing going on when I'm watching Celtic, and if I'm not happy watching Celtic, I almost feel the players shouldn't be happy. I think they should be celebrating every goal just by a wee fist bump and a walk back to the halfway line, because I feel like it's almost rubbing salt into the wound when you see Scott Brown before the game doing the major huddle for a game when we're 23 points behind Rangers, and you see the players going nuts and all that when they're scoring. But maybe that's just my good cynical self.
The cynic, the 90-minute cynic. Yeah, someone made a good point in the chat there. Do you not find it so frustrating we don't push to the byline more? I think that's a decent point. I'm not sure if we've quite got the players on the pitch to do that. We don't really have out-and-out wingers at the moment. And I think players like Kenny and Taylor are never going to do that. So unless Lennon kind of changes the personnel and perhaps brings a Mikey Johnston into the equation, or when James Forrest gets back to fitness, I don't think we're going to be hitting the byline as often as he might like. I think that's just and the nature of the way we're set up at the moment, and the fact that most of our creativity comes through the middle, through Turnbull and Rogic. I mean, we're talking about Rogic. I actually thought Rogic was decent in spells today, and probably should have had a goal or two. Missed a couple of good chances for me. That was the only thing missing. But yeah, most of our creativity is coming through the middle right now, rightly or wrongly.
Right, good stuff, Davey Boy. Clan Donald, great username, love it. Still try to walk the ball into the net too often. Would agree with that, Davey, as well. Davey, everyone else who's tuned into this video, I really appreciate all your support on the channel. Remember, if you've not yet subscribed to us, we would appreciate that even more if you would do that. John, I'm away for a lie down. It's been a long week, and it's been a long afternoon of watching Celtic play pretty meaningless games, but it was 3 points for Celtic. Thank you for your time. We'll hear from you later next week alongside Jackie McNamara. I'll be back. I think I've got a video going out tomorrow actually with Jackie, so loads to look forward to on the channel. Remember to subscribe, tell a pal about us, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers.